Okay, class, let's continue. Okay, so number 43. So that's in relation to section 23. Okay, so revenue. Okay, and this section applies to accounting for revenue arising from, okay, ang sagot dyan, letter A. Sale of goods, rendering of services, construction contracts in which the entity is the contractor, and used by others of entity assets yielding interest, okay, royalties or dividends. Okay, at ito ngang 1, 2, and 4, yan yung covered, yan yung galing dun sa IAS 18. And then yung number 3 in relation to construction contracts, IAS 11. Okay, so again, ang difference ngayon, so since okay, ang full PFRS gumagamit na ng 5-step model, so kaya clearly difference. Okay, yung section, iba yung section 23 dun sa full PFRS. Okay, so ito nga yung 5-step model in PFRS 15. Okay, so in PFRS 15, there is only one model applicable to sale of goods, rendering of services, construction contracts. Okay, so yun nga lang, okay, yung interest, okay, at yung dividends, nilipat na yan dun sa PFRS 9. So kaya hindi na siya covered ng PFRS 15. So nandun na sa PFRS 9. Okay. So again so actually yung IAS 18, so rules-based pa yan Okay, so yung revenue recognition depends on the transaction. Okay, so itong 5-step model, it doesn't matter whether yan ba ay sale of goods, rendering of services, or construction contracts. So same principle applies. So ito nga yung 5-step model. So in particular, number 44. Okay, so sale of goods. In accordance with section 23 of the PFRS for SMEs, which of the following conditions must be satisfied before revenue from sale of goods is recognized? Okay, so ang sagot dyan, letter A. So hanggat hindi satisfied yung 5 conditions na yan, okay, revenue from sale of goods, ito, particularly ang transaction dyan, sale of goods. So sa section 23, which is again based on IAS 18, yung revenue recognition depends on the transaction. Yan ba ay sale of goods? Yan ba ay rendering of services? Construction contracts, royalties, interest, dividends. Okay, at pagka nga sale of goods, kailangan masatisfy ang 1 to 5. And what are those? Okay, so yung number 1, buyer is the substantial owner. So na-transfer na ng entity kay buyer yung significant risks and rewards of ownership of the goods. So kaya in effect, buyer is the substantial owner. Okay, number 2, no more such involvement. So the entity retains neither continuing managerial involvement to the degree usually associated with ownership nor effective control over the goods sold. So no more such involvement. Okay, na yung normally related to ownership of the asset. So yung 3 and 4, the usual criteria yan. Measurable, probable. Hindi naman pwedeng mawala yung probable, measurable. And then in relation to cost, the cost measurable. So yung incurred or to be incurred can be measured reliably. Okay? And generally generally, yung conditions na yan, normally satisfied yan at the point of sale. And that is when the goods are what? Delivered. So generally, kapag na-deliver na yung goods, satisfied na yung 1 to 5. Pero kung clearly merong hindi na satisfied dyan, then revenue is not recognized. Okay, so 44, letter A. Okay, number 45. In relation to transfer of risks and rewards of ownership, an entity does not recognize revenue if it retains significant risks and rewards of ownership. So kasi kailangan nga buyer is the substantial owner. So meaning na i-transfer ng entity yung significant risks and rewards of ownership to the buyer. Okay? And if not, then revenue is not recognized. Now, examples of situations in which the entity may retain the significant risks and rewards of ownership are letter A. So in those situations, revenue is not recognized. Kasi dyan sa 1, yan, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? Risks and rewards retained by the entity. So not transferred substantially to the buyer. So kaya dyan sa 1 to 4, revenue is not recognized. Okay, so 45, letter A. 46. Okay, so the requirement, which statement is correct? So ito yung in relation to transfer of risks and rewards. Okay, Lean Company, a medium-sized entity and distributor of machinery, bought a machine from manufacturer in November for 10,000. On December 30, Lean sold the machine to Lang for 15,000 under the following terms: 2/30, 1/60, okay, N/90. Okay, so ito yung crucial dyan. However, Lang has the right to return this machine to Lean if Lang is unable to resell the machine before expiration of the 90-day payment period, in which case Lang's obligation to Lean is canceled. So pag tinignan natin yung form ng transaction, sale yan. Pero pag tinignan natin yung substance, parang pinapabenta lang kay ni Lean kay Lang. So kasi ang nangyari diyan, binenta kay Lean, ni Lean kay Lang, tapos kailangan magbayad si kay Lang within 90 days. Kung nagbayad siya within 30 days, may 2% discount. Kung within 60 days, 1%. Pero kailangan magbayad siya within 90 days. Pero kung di niya mabenta yan, babalik niya lang and the obligation is canceled. So kaya in effect, silang is just an agent of Lean. So parang pinapabenta lang. Kaya tama yung letter A. The sale is treated as what? Consignment. Since the buyer is acting in substance as an agent of the seller. So na pag hindi niya nabenta sa third party, babalik niya lang kay seller. And since in substance, the transaction is consignment, tama din yung letter B. The seller recognizes revenue when the buyer sells the goods to a third party. So 46, letter C. So substance over form. Okay, so clearly hindi na i-transfer yung risks and rewards kay buyer. So the buyer is just an agent of the seller. So treated siya as consignment. Okay,